We are discussing about ORM. What is ORM? What is the use of ORM? What advantage we will get by using ORM? So, and we will create one simple model and apply those migrations into the database, and we start inserting data, retrieving data through admin interface. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, object relational mapper. What do you mean by object relational mapper? You might have a question, right? So object relational mapper is something. Let's say relation is nothing but the database, guys. Okay, na? Relational RDBMS అంటాం కదా మనం RDBMS అంటే రిలేషనల్ డేటాబేస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్. సార్ అంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ రిలేషనల్ మ్యాపర్. That means let's say we have a customer table in DB, for example, right? Okay, in this customer table, table contains columns, right?
Columns.
Table contains one thing is table name, right? Table name and the columns available in this table. Yes or no? Let's say name of the customer, and let's say mobile number. Perfect. Mobile number, address అనుకుందాం. Let's take these three fields as an example. Okay. Okay, this is a relational database, right? RDBMS. It's a table in the database, relational database.
Yes.
So, ORM means it's an object relational mapper. That means we write the queries, we interact with this table with the help of ORM, object relational concept. This concept implemented in with the help of Python classes. That means whenever we want to retrieve data, whenever we want to insert data, we have to deal with the class of the model, right?
Yes.
That means if we have one table in database, there should be one model in Django for this table, right? Because this table is whatever table you are defined here, the table schema is going to depend by using this model, right? Inside this model, we define what is the table name, what is the columns we want to use and all, right? This table will be automatically created with help of model schema, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means here basically we are creating the class, right? How do you create the models? From Django.db
from Django
import models. Perfect. Because if any class that is inheriting from this models.model class, then Django will treat this particular class as a model, not like a normal Python class, right? So when you are doing make migrations, migrate, that time Django will look into the all child classes of the model class, so that based on that it will generate the migration file in the migration folder. Last time we have seen here, right? Migrations. Yes. This file. How Django will detect this as a model with the help of this parent class, right?
Yes, sir.
So here, how can you define a class? We know that class. Let's say customer, right? In our example, customer. It is a class name. We have to define it. The first name should be capital letter. It's a class name. And this is the model. It's supposed to inherit from this model. Perfect. Model. Okay, perfect. This one is equal to the table name, right? In the database.
Yes, sir.
So next, what things we have to take care? We have to take care about the columns. What are the columns we want to create in the table?
Mobile number, address.
Yeah. In the table, we decided to store these three columns for now, right? So that means we have to specify. ఇక్కడ డేటాబేస్ లో చేసేటప్పుడు ఒక్కొక్క కాలం ఒక్కొక్క డేటా టైప్ ఉంటది కదా. మళ్ళీ లెట్స్ సే varchar అది varchar అనుకుందాం. మొబైల్ నెంబర్ కూడా varchar అనుకుందాం. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
అడ్రస్ కూడా varchar. ఓకే, మనకి ఇప్పుడు అన్ని varchar ఉంటాయి. నో ఇంటిజర్, నో అదర్ స్టఫ్. ఓకే.
yes.
సో ఈ కేసులో ఈ కాలమ్స్ అన్ని డిఫైన్ చేయాలంటే మనం ఏం చేయాలి? ఇక్కడ కాలమ్ నేమ్ డిఫైన్ చేయాలి. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? 1 2 3 4. యా. Name is equal to models dot char field కదా. Name
Yes,
is
sir.
equal to char field. Next and define చేస్తాం ఇంకొక char field is automatically converted into varchar, right, at the time of applying
Yes.
this migration to database.
Yes, sir.
సో ఈ char field ఎందుకంటే డేటాబేస్ ఈ కాలమ్ యొక్క ఫీల్డ్ అన్నమాట. గెటింగ్ మై పాయింట్? యా. నెక్స్ట్ mobile number is equal to same thing, right? This one also models dot char field. Models dot char field. Perfect. And we have another column address, right? Address is equal to models dot char field. This one also. Yeah, we are done, right? So our aim is to, with help of Django, if you are working with Django ORM, we no need to write a single line of SQL statement, right? Even for creating tables, even for selecting data from the database, we write the queries or everything in the classes. Like to create a table, we create a model class. To retrieve data, we tell of this data, we retrieve data, we insert the data, right? With this object, right? This is the class object, right?
Yes, sir.
That means this class object is mapping to the relation of this table, right? In the database, relational database. That's what the ORM, object relational mapper. Every class is mapped to one table in database. If you are retrieving data, if you have a 10 rows in this table, for example, here we'll have the data, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say 4 rows in the database, for example. Yes or no? We created table, just assume that we have to insert data, name and mobile number and address, right, in the four columns. అర్థమైందా సాయి? హలో.
Yes, sir.
ఇక్కడ 4 కాలమ్స్ మనం ఇన్సర్ట్ డేటా ఉంటే ఇట్లా 4 రోస్ ఉంటాయి కదా టేబుల్లో, ఇన్ కేసు ఇట్లా ఉంటాయి. సో ఈ 4 రోస్ టేబుల్లో వచ్చి డేటాబేస్ వచ్చేసి రోస్ అంటాం కదా. ఇక్కడ మనం ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ డేటాని ఈ క్లాస్ ద్వారా లెట్స్ సే కస్టమర్ డాట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ డాట్ ఆల్ అని క్వెరీ చేస్తాము ఓఆర్ఎం లో, ఎవ్రీ రో ఈస్ ద వన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ క్లాస్. అంటే ఒక రో ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్. అంటే 10 రోస్ ఉంటే 10 ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ వస్తాయి కదా మనకి లిస్ట్ లో, ఈ క్లాస్ యొక్క ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్.
Yes, sir.
అంటే ఒక్కొక్క రో యొక్క డేటా ఒక్కొక్క ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ అయ్యి ఈ ఎవ్రీ కాలం డేటా అనేది దీనికి మ్యాప్ అయిపోతుంది. నేను ఎప్పుడైతే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ డాట్ నేమ్ అంటానో ఈ కాలం స్పెసిఫిక్, ఈ రో స్పెసిఫిక్ కాలం డేటా వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకేనా? ఓబీజీ డాట్ నెంబర్ అంటే ఈ రో స్పెసిఫిక్ వస్తుంది. అంటే 10 రోస్ ఉంటే 10 ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి మనకి పైథాన్ లోకి లోడ్ అయినప్పుడు ఈ డేటా. గెటింగ్ మై పాయింట్?
Yes.
హర్ష, అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is what. So after that, just assume this. Our model is ready, right? That means why you are creating model to store some data, right? Basically.
Store data.
That means in order to store data, we have to create the table in the database, right? With this model. Yes or no? That
Yes,
means
sir.
we have to sync model to the DB, right? We have to sync model to the DB. What is the process, guys? First command is python manage.py make migrations, right?
Make migration.
When you do make migrations, Django will look into the model and create the migration file inside this folder, right? Migration folder. So everyone understood this point? ఇది మోడల్ ఇక్కడ క్రియేట్ అయితే మైగ్రేషన్ ఫైల్ ఇంకా డీబీకి సింక్ అవ్వలేదు ఇక్కడ కదా. 2-step ప్రాసెస్ యాక్చువల్ గా. సో నౌ let's apply migration to DB. Yes or no? Here it will create the migration file. Next command is to apply this migration into the database. Getting my point? How will you do that? I will do that python manage.py. Tell me migrate. Perfect. What migrate does? Migrate will look into this migration folder of every app and it will figure out what is there any changes that is not synced with DB. If anything found, it will pick that migration, convert this into SQL statement and pass that SQL statement to the database, because database can understand only the SQL, right?
Yes.
Everyone understood this point here?
Yes, sir.
ఇక్కడ అండర్లయింగ్ డేటాబేస్ ఏదైనా ఉండొచ్చు సాయి అండ్ హర్ష, ఓకేనా? అండర్లయింగ్ డేటాబేస్ MySQL ఉండొచ్చు, పోస్ట్ గ్రెస్ ఉండొచ్చు, ఒరాకిల్ ఉండొచ్చు, ఏదైనా ఉండొచ్చు. But the thing way we define with the model is same, way we apply the migration is same. Automatically Django will takes care about converting this table into this migration, and this migration will be converted into as per the database syntax automatically. So in future, if you are migrating from one database to another database, we no need to change the single line of ORM code because it's high level in Python, right? Everything is abstracted, right? We no need to change single line of code here. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Harsha, అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
అదే క్రియేట్ టేబుల్ సింటాక్స్ ఒకసారి డిఫైన్ చేస్తాం అనుకున్నాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డేటాబేస్ టు డేటాబేస్ సింటాక్స్ డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది అనుకుందాం. సో అది మనం ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్ గా మళ్ళీ మోడిఫై చేస్తూ ఉండాలి కదా ఇన్ కేస్ సింటాక్స్ మారితే డేటాబేస్ టు డేటాబేస్. అలా కాకుండా ఇది హై లెవెల్ పైథాన్ లో రాస్తాం క్లాస్ లాగా. Django will takes care about low level things. Whatever database you use, accordingly Django will convert that model into the SQL compatible statement and execute that into the DB, right? We no need to worry about that. It's a high level programming on this. So yeah, it's a uniform way to work with any database, right? Maintenance will be very easy when you're migrating from one database to another database in future, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect. Sir. Yeah, now this is when you run this command, it's supposed to connect with the database and apply this migration to the database, right?
Yes.
Till here, do you have any doubts?
Sir, ఇప్పుడు ఇంకో కాలమ్ యాడ్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ అప్డేట్ చేయాలి.
Yeah, if you want to add another column, అంటే మనం డేటాబేస్ లో ఏం చేస్తాం? Let's have a look at alter tab, alter, let's say customer, right? Customer, add column, it's syntax, okay na? Add column, let's say pin code, pin underscore c code, pin code varchar, let's say 30 అనుకుందాం. For example, simple example, alter customer, add column, pin code. This is the SQL statement. When you trigger this SQL statement in DB, automatically this column is going to be added to this table in the database, right?
Okay.
So but as we are not interacting with the database directly. Every schema changes should supposed to go through the ORM class only, right? As we are working on ORM, that means it is very simple. You can simply add PAN underscore COD, pin code is equal to models dot, let's say char field, models dot char field. So now again we run the same process, right? First time when you run the migration, it is created on migration file to create this table, yes or no? When you after adding this column, when you run this again, it is going to create a new migration file with only this change, right?
Yes.
So whatever the migration file it is going to convert, when you run this command, internally that migration is going to be converted like this into the SQL, pass this statement to the database, so that SQL understand this particular syntax, right?
Yes.
It will add column. But in Python point of view, for any schema changes, the approach is same, right? Either new model or we had anything, this entire stuff is taken care by Django or not? అర్థమైందమ్మా? Everyone tell me.
Yes, sir.
ఇక్కడ స్కీమా క్రియేషన్, స్కీమా ఆల్టరేషన్ అంటాం కదా మనం దీన్ని. ఆల్రెడీ స్కీమా ఉంది, ఈ స్కీమా చేంజెస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో వాటిని స్కీమా చేంజెస్ అంటాం కదా.
మళ్ళీ సేమ్ migrations, migrators.
Yeah, make migrations and migrate. If you are seeing any change in that column, this schema, when you run the make migrations, Django will automatically detect that change and create a migration file here. Okay.
Okay.
If no changes, Django won't create migration file here. Understood?
Okay. Okay, sir.
So now everyone aware of that, what is the use of model, how model, this is we just discuss about schema level changes, creating table or adding new column to the table. right? So
Yes.
now it's time to add some data, right? How do you add the data, guys? Tell me. ORM queries, right? ORM
queries
is used to deal with
add data.
Deal with data. Deal with data means it could be CRUD operations, right? Create,
Yes.
read, update, delete. Everyone understood this part?
Yes.
ORM queries is used to deal with the data. But this model class is used to deal with the schema changes. Getting my point? Adding column to the table, removing column from the table, right? So once the table is ready, after that we start inserting data, right? So how do you insert data? Insert data into customer table. Are we going to write this insert statement? Insert into customer like this. Are you going to write it? No, right? It's a SQL statement. Django will take care about the converting our ORM query into the SQL and execute that into the database, right? So we write in ORM, not in SQL, plain SQL. Getting my point? We write in ORM, not in plain SQL. So how do you insert the data, sir? But let's say insert. How do you insert data? Let's say obj equal to, it's up to our use case, just a one variable, okay? What is our model? This is our model at customer, right? Customer of, we know how to create object of the class. We pass this data, right? Name, mobile number, address, pin code, right? Let's say name is equal to Sai. What is the next column, guys? Mobile number, right? Mobile underscore number. See, we are just dealing with the Python objects, okay, not like a database. But internally, Django will take care about it, right? Some mobile number. Next, what is the another column? Address. Hyderabad. Come on. Okay, next, pin code. Pin code is equal to, let's say, some pin code. Okay. Now, when you run this, when Python executing this statement, is it going to create record here? No, right? We have to call save method, right?
Save.
Yeah, obj dot save. So here, actually, what is happening is it converts this obj object into SQL insert statement, right? SQL insert statement and execute in DB. Yes or no? It's supposed to be converted to SQL insert statement, then pass this statement to DB, execute it. Once insert statement executed in DB with this data, automatically this row will be created in database, right? Yes.
Yes.
So next, perfect, sir. We are able to update it. Now, how to read the data? Read the data from DB with ORM class, right? With model class. How do you read the data? Let's say customers equal to customer model class. Customer. This is our model, right? Customer dot objects dot all. So when I run this internally convert into select star from customer. Okay, now internally to convert into this statement. Select star from customer means there is no filter at all, right? It is supposed to get all rows from the database, right?
Yes.
So every row here it contains the objects of this class. If we have a one row in this, if the result of this statement is one row, this customer list having the one object of this class. Okay. If this statement having 10 rows, this customer having 10 objects of this class. Each row is one object. Okay. Understood, guys? Object oriented మర్చిపోయారా? ఈ క్లాస్ దీని యొక్క ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అంతే కదా, ఇది లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ వస్తుంది మనకి. ఓకే, క్వరీ సెట్ అంటాం మనం దీన్ని. ఓకే, సో సెలెక్ట్ స్టార్ ఫ్రమ్ మీ కస్టమర్ ఏం చేస్తుందో మనకు తెలుసు. ఆర్ యూ రైటింగ్ దిస్ వన్? నో, వి రైట్ క్వరీ లైక్ దిస్. Internally Django will convert this into this like this. For example, sometimes we have to like apply filter, right? Filter data, yes or no?
Yes.
Filter data. Simple terms, how do you filter data? Let's say customer is equal to customer dot objects dot. Here we have to use filter
Name equals
name. Yes, exactly. Name equal to Sai, right? Name equal Sai. In this case, if there is a more names with Sai, we will get the list of names. Getting my point? If we have only single one, it will return the single object in the list, right? Based on this, how it is going to convert? Select star from customer where name is equal to Sai. Internally Django will convert like this and pass this statement to DB, right? Whatever data it is retrieving, again that every row will be for 10 rows. Django internally create 10 objects for this class and store into this variable, right?
Yes.
So automatically the data, whatever data our DB is returning, it is mapping to our Orm class, right? Object, right? That's what object relational mapper. Okay, everyone understood this point?
Yes.
So next point, updating the data. How do you update the data? So first, in order to update the data, we have to fetch the record. For example, I want to fetch the, let's say we have a method called get. Let's say get pk is equal to 1 now. Pk is nothing but the id, guys. Okay, na? Primary key in the table. So customer.object.get, when you use get, automatically I will get the one customer object, right? Pk means there should be definitely only one record. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This simply convert into like this. Select star from customer where id is equal to 1. This statement internally convert into like this. We know, right, what it does in the database.
Yes.
So we will get the one customer object. Now this is the object. How do you object dot, let's say address, we want to change the address. Okay, na? Address is equal to new address, and after this sync update to DB, right? We should update this into update this change to DB, right? As of now, when you do this, it is still in the data Python object only, right? It's not synced with the database. We have to call customer dot save again, this object customer dot save. So when you call this, internally Django will convert. When you call this, internally Django will convert this change into the update statement, guys. You know, we know that update table, let's say update customer set, update customer set address is equal to, what is our address? New address, right? This value.
Yes.
Where it is, we need where condition, otherwise this is going to operate every row, right? Where id is equal to 1. సో ఇది నువ్వు ఎప్పుడైతే నువ్వు ఇట్లా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఫెచ్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇలా చేంజెస్ చేస్తావో, తర్వాత వెన్ ఎవర్ we are trying to update this change to the database, automatically Django will trigger a update query to the DB with these changes. Okay, na?
Yes.
So just to feel like we are working with class and methods only, but internally it's a ORM, right? It takes care about underlying database conversion. Okay, perfect. How do you delete the data? In order to delete it, same thing again. For example, you want to delete the customer one, we will fetch like this. Okay, after this, customer dot delete, customer dot delete, customer dot
save.
So when you do customer dot delete, it automatically delete this one. Okay, we will check this syntax exactly how it works anyhow. So when there is a method called delete, right here. Sometimes we have deleted that row here. ఎక్కడ delete చేసాం ఇక్కడ ఫిల్టర్ చేసాం delete ఎక్కడ ఇచ్చేలేదు కదా
లెస్
యా ఇక్కడ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేసాము ఈ కాంటాక్ట్ తెచ్చుకున్నాం అవునా కాంటాక్ట్ డాట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ డాట్ గెట్ కాంటాక్ట్ ఇస్ హర్ష రైట్ సో delete లెట్స్ delete హర్ష కాంటాక్ట్ డాట్ delete ఇది సార్ నో సో ఇక్కడ డిలీట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఏది డిలీట్ అయింది ఇక్కడ రికార్డ్ బట్ ఈ చేంజ్ అనేది స్టిల్ ఇంకా మనం ఓఆర్ఎం లోనే ఉంది కదా still in Python. Yes. The change is not synced with the database. Whenever we call this function after this delete statement, it is okay, sorry. It automatically deleting, guys. Sorry for that. When you call this one delete statement, it automatically deleting from the AP. When you call save again, whatever data we have, it is creating as a new record. That time we have seen, right?
Yes, sir.
Last time we have seen when you delete it, automatically it is getting deleted. If you call save again, it is going to create as a new record, not the existing one. Getting my point? In the database. Yeah. So like this, we delete it. But here the problem is, did you understand here? This, if you call save again, it will delete this row, and when you call save again, it will create a new row with the same data. That means new ID will be generated, right? This save is not required, right? Automatically it get deleted when you trigger the delete query. So how it is going to trigger? Delete from customer where ID is equal to 1. So that means automatically the row wherever the ID is 1, that row will be deleted from this table, right?
Yes.
So these all are like a CRUD operations there. Okay, let's create a one model for this and update this stuff. Let's see that. Okay, let's create a one model for this. So let's go to demo app again. Here we have a models.py file.
Models.
We have a contact and employee. Okay, let's create another model. Okay, now let's create another model. What is that model, guys? Let me copy this first, this stuff. Class customer. Okay, perfect. Models.char field. If it is a char field, here we see we have to specify max length, right?
Yes, sir.
One thing I want to specify is by default nullable is true. Okay, now if you are saying null is equal to false, that means it is not nullable. Getting my point, guys? Yeah, we will check that part today. Okay, so last time someone asked this doubt, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is our model. Here we have to specify max length. Let's say name is 100 characters. Is it nullable or not nullable?
False.
Mobile number, max length, let's say 13, nullable is false. This value should be there, right?
Yes.
Address is okay. This is also required. Max length is 200, comma nullable is false. This is also false. We need address of the customer also, right? We need everything is mandatory kada ikkada మన case lo. దీన్ని ట్రూ చేద్దామా? nullable true. Pin code is optional అనుకున్నాం. ఓకేనా?
Yes.
ఓకే, పర్ఫెక్ట్. నౌ దీనివల్ల అడ్వాంటేజ్ తెలుసు కదా మనకి. ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ? when you are printing the object of this class, to identify the object, we are printing this data, right? Here ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రింట్ చేసినప్పుడు దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అట్ సమ్ మెమరీ లొకేషన్ వస్తుంది. అదే ఇది పెట్టామనుకో, ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఏదైతే రిటర్న్ చేస్తామో ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది కదా మనం ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రింట్ చేసేటప్పుడు.
ఎస్.
సో ఇక్కడ నేమ్ ఉంది. ఓకే, పర్ఫెక్ట్.
మొబైల్ నంబర్, ఫోన్ తీసాం.
యా, మొబైల్ నంబర్, ఇక్కడ మొబైల్ నంబర్. ఓకే, సరిపోయింది కదా. నేము, మొబైల్ నెంబర్, ఇక్కడ మొబైల్ నెంబర్ కదా, ఇక్కడ కూడా మొబైల్ నెంబర్ అని పెడతాం. ఎస్, పర్ఫెక్ట్. యా, ఎస్. సో అవర్ మోడల్ ఈస్ రెడీ. Our model is ready. Do everyone know about admin interface, right? To test our models, you can use admin interface directly, right? So let's go to the admin.py here. Here, let's import our model class from dot models import. What is our model? Customer, right?
Customer.
So in order to interact with your model class, you have to register your model in the here, right? Customer.
Yes.
So that admin automatically generate the UI screens for your model, right? So there we enter some data, it automatically store this data into database. Yes or no? Generic interface. Admin having some generic interface. Yeah. So let's start the server.
Run server.
But the problem here is this the problem here is this table is synced to database. You just created the model, right?
Yes, sir.
That means we have to run the make migrations and migrate, right? Python.
Yes.
Manage.py. See here, we have only 3 files set now, right? Make migrations. Demo app migration 004 customer. Create model customer. Vachinda? It's created, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means if you want to apply this change to the DB, we have to run the what command? Migrate. Applied, right? That means SQLite DB browser. మనం MySQL తర్వాత కాన్ఫిగర్ చేద్దాం, ఓకేనా? సో ఏదైనా ఒక డేటాబేసే కదా, నో చేంజ్ అన్నమాట. సో ఓపెన్ డేటాబేస్. ఎక్కడ ఉంది మన డేటాబేస్? ఐటీ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్, no project, this project. This is our database, right?
Demo app.
Are you seeing the browser now?
No.
Let me open. Yeah, actually MySQL DB file ఉంది కదా, db.sqlite, దీంట్లో ఓపెన్ చేశాను. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ మన టేబుల్స్ లో కస్టమర్ డెమో యాప్ అండర్స్కోర్ కస్టమర్ ఉంది కదా, ఐడి, ప్రైమరీ కీ, నేమ్, ఇవన్నీ వచ్చేసాయి, అవునా?
ఎస్.
ఇది టేబుల్ సింటాక్స్. సో దీంట్లో ఏదైనా డేటా ఉందేమో చూద్దాం. మన టేబుల్ ఏంటి? customer kada, no data ikkada. Sir,
yes.
So let's start the server and insert data from admin interface and see the data is coming or not. Run server. ఇది మన URL కదా యాక్సెస్ చేయడానికి. Let's say admin admin. What is the username and password? Did you remember? Let me go here and somewhere I might be stored. admin @23 కదా, ఇది యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ నేను అప్పుడు క్రియేట్ చేశా కదా లాస్ట్ టైం.
yes
admin @123. యా, డెమో యాప్ లో ఈ కస్టమర్ అనే మోడల్ వచ్చింది కదా ఇక్కడ మనకి. మనం బికాస్ వి రిజిస్టర్ దట్ ఇన్ ద admin.site.register model, right? That's the reason why that model is getting shown in the administration interface. So
data ఇక్కడ నుంచి యాడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు సార్.
Yeah, you can add it. ఇక్కడ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ థింగ్ అంటే Django admin UI ఆటోమేటిక్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది నీకు కదా. HTML సింగిల్ లైన్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ కూడా రాయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. లెట్స్ సే యాడ్, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ యాడ్ సమ్ డేటా, ఇక్కడ చూసావా నేమ్, మొబైల్ నెంబర్, అడ్రస్, పిన్ కోడ్ ఆటోమేటిక్లీ కేమ్ అన్నమాట. Yes or no guys?
Yes.
So let's say Sai, some mobile number, okay? So address is Hyderabad. Pin code is, let's say, some pin code, okay? And just saving this data. Data saved successfully. If you see here, if you go into customer table, here it is, this is on customer, right, in our database.
Yes.
So this is Python is just to store data and retrieve data whenever we are navigating like this here, right? It is internally trigger the select query and paste the data and show it in the UI, right? Yes or no?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
So let's see from where this data is coming. Let's go to the DB visualizer. This here, repress the data. This is what we inserted from the UI, right?
Yes sir.
So like this, admin interface is not like not satisfy your requirement all the time, right? So for that reason, we have to create our own Django templates. We have to design our pages as per requirement, right? Getting my point?
Yes.
So if you want to edit something, let's say Hyderabad, there is a typo, Hyderabad, Bangalore. Just save it. It is updated automatically. So if you go to the DB again, go to DB. Previously it is Hyderabad, right? Let me repress it. Now it's Bangalore or not?
Yes sir.
So like this, you can use the admin interface to do the stuff. But one thing, guys, you have to observe it. When you are updating means it internally trigger the update query through the database, right? Somewhere they might be somewhere in Django also. They are triggering these kind of queries, right? For reading data, retrieving data. They are simply inserting data. When you are creating a new record, internally somewhere in the Django view function, they may use this logic, right? Like this. Whatever data we entered on the text box, that will come like this dynamically, right?
Yes sir.
So updating, they may trigger, when you are deleting it, they may trigger this logic somewhere in the view function, right? So tomorrow we discuss about how to create our own templates, how to create our we already created it, but again we discuss about templates and all, okay? Templates, Django forms is a very, very important concept. Once it is done, we start the project. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
So let me stop the recording. Do we have